Okay, chaps. Hello again. Right, we've got a little bit of a shorter lesson, hopefully, today about rates. Okay, we are in page 20, exercise 5. Again, you will need your book to read the question. Yes, Nina, it's all good. It's all good. They're here, they're learning, they're all good. Okay, and I'm going to go through two questions, C and F. Okay, in C it tells us, this is all about rates. So normally the example, Nina, shush, Nina, sit. Good girl, sit. So let me just, I think she needs to go. I'll just pause here for a second. Okay, Nina's out. Right, so normally when I start with these questions, I look at speed. Speed is a rate. It's distance divided by time, okay? Usually in rate, things change, things move, okay? But actually, you guys are a clever class. I'm going to start with something a little bit more difficult, and that's fuel consumption. It's a little bit more difficult. So, you know, cars have different fuel rating, I guess you can call it, how much fuel they use, how much petrol they use, or diesel, per 100 kilometer. There's another way of doing it, but that's the way we normally work, okay? So this specific car, I think, uses 8 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, this is, as I said, C. The first question asks, how many liters is needed to travel 400 kilometers? It's just a simple question about a ratio, okay? That just means, okay, 800 per 100 kilometers basically mean that for every 100 kilometer, I'm using 8 liters. So if I'm driving 400 kilometers, I must have multiplied this side by 4, then I must multiply this side by 4, and the answer is 32 liters. Okay, and that's the answer. Okay, then they asked me something else. They asked me how far can you travel with 50 liters. Okay, so I'm going to just erase this. Now I'll just write it again. So I'll write 8 to 100. Okay, that's kilometers and that's liter. Now they tell me, look, you've got 50 liter. How many kilometers do you drive? Okay, so then again, I have to ask myself, how much do I get from 8 to 50? I times it by 4. If one must time that. No, I made a mistake. Not by 4, we times it by 4 there. From 8 to 50, I think it's timed by 7. Is it 7? Ah, right, okay, here we go. So we don't have an integer number, right? We don't have a number. 8 times something, 50 does not divide by 8. But you remember we learned last lesson how to do that. If I want to go from 8 to 50, what I need to multiply 8 is, must multiply by 50 divided by 8. Let's have a look at this for a second. 50 divided by 8 times 8, that will cancel out. Boom, we got 50. Okay? Now, if I just leave it like that, another little trick, I mean, I can just leave it like that and obviously multiply this also by 50 divided by 8, but what we can do with this fraction, what do you reckon? We can simplify it, right? And that will make things easier. So when you divide it both sides by 2, I'm going to get 4 and 25. And that just makes these numbers a little bit smaller, easier to handle. Okay, so 25 divided by 4 times 400, I can 104, that will cancel out, and now we could get to 25. Okay, so 25 times 25 is 625, and that's the answer, 625 kilometers. Okay, obviously you can use a calculator, but I think it's good to know these little tricks. Right, moving on to question F. This question is about density. Okay, density you learned last year in science. Density is mass divided by volume. So they tell you here that the density of a liquid is 50 grams per cubic centimeter. What is cubic centimeter? Okay, or what does it really mean? What is density? If you take a cube, a 1 centimeter cube, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, okay, it will have a mass of 50 grams. That's what density means. Okay. Now they ask you what is the mass in kilogram of 5 kiloliters. Okay. Or they even use 5 meter cube. Okay. I will stay with 5 kiloliters. Okay. It's a little bit difficult, this question, because we have liters, we've got centimeter cubed, meter cubed, and it's all a bit confusing. So this is a very important ratio to remember. 1 liter, and 1 liter, you know, you have like a 1 liter Coke bottle or whatever, is 1,000 milliliter, which kind of makes sense because milli means 1,000. So 1 liter is 1,000 milliliter. But this is the thing. 1,000 milliliter is the same as 1,000 centimeter cube. So 1 centimeter cube is equal to 1 milliliter. That's an important thing to remember. Really important to remember. Okay? So 1,000 or 1 liter, okay, is 1,000 centimeter cube. Okay? Okay. So now we have 5 kilos. So first of all, let's write that down. Okay? So this ratio tells me that 1 centimeter cube, okay, will have 50 grams. Okay? Now I want to know, okay, how many, what will be the volume, what is the mass of 5 kiloliters. Kilo means 1,000. Okay? So I'll write it down here. 1 kiloliter is 1,000 liter. And I know that 1 liter is 1,000 centimeter cube. Okay? Why do I have to go to centimeter cube? Because here I've got centimeter cube. So 1,000 liter is going to be 1,000 times 1,000 is going to be 1,000,000. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 centimeter cube. So that's the first bit. 1 kiloliter is equal to 1,000,000 centimeter cube. So the mass or the volume that I've got here is not 1 centimeter cube. I'm working with 1,000,000. Now here, let's try and remember something we learned last year. Okay, we're going to go through it, I'm sure, at some point later, but we might as well do it now because you guys are clever class. Okay, how can I write 1,000,000 very quickly in standard notation? You remember that one? Okay, it's 10 to the power of 6. Okay, remember that one? 10 to the power of 6 means 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, 1,000,000. Okay, I've got 1 and 6 zeros. Okay, and the question is, what will be the mass? What will be the mass? So how did I go from 1 to 10 to the power of 6? I multiplied by 10 to the power of 6. So obviously here I need to also multiply by 10 to the power of 6. You see how fast and easy it is to write this instead of 1,000,000. So the answer will be 50 times 10 to the power of 6, but that's in gram. That's in gram. Okay? They're asking me what's the mass in kilogram. So then I have to write down, okay, 50 times 10 to the power of 6 gram divided by, how do I go from gram to kilogram? Kilo always means 1,000. So I have to divide by 1,000. Okay, how do I write 1,000? I can write 1,000 10 to the power of 3. Okay? Now, you've done exponents last year, okay? So you should be able to know how to do that without the calculator. What is 10 to the power of 6 divided by 10 to the power of 3? Remember, when I'm dividing two powers and they have the same base, I need to minus the exponent. So it's going to be 50 times 10 to the power of 3, or if we want to write it down, 50,000 kilograms. Okay, so I've added quite a few other things to the mix. We looked at a little bit of exponents, we did a little bit of algebra in the last lesson. It's all stuff that we need to know. All right, good luck.